He loved me.
No, you were an embarrassment to him. If anything, it's kind of your fault that I'm here.
Come on, let me go! Stop it! Dude, that is...
What?
I don't want to see you anymore. I'm lonely. It's not working.
You're Spider-Man, and she still won't have sex with you. What the f*** is wrong with you? They love me.
Spider-Man is the richest IP in the world of Marvel, so he does get some bragging rights. On that note, here are the top 25 Spider-Man flexes in the movies.
Here's your web cartridges.
What's that for?
It's my web fluid. It's for my web shooters.
Ah yes, we're starting on the right track when it comes to respecting legends. That's right, nobody beats the OG, especially when it's Tobey Maguire's version of Spider-Man. Seeing him back in action was amazing enough for fans all over the world, but our man was like, nah, I gotta show these kids just how far ahead of the curve I really am.
She told me that with great power
Comes great responsibility.
Wait, what? How do you know that?
Oh, duh.
When the ordinary Spider-Men were trying to figure out their artificial webs, Tobey was so confused, as if this was something meant for the peasants. That moment when he showed them he could generate his own webbing was the perfect statement to prove that he is truly the best Peter Parker we could get. You could see that slight smirk of superiority on his face, eh? He's supposed to be a side character, but to us, he was the reason No Way Home became one of only 3 MCU flicks to cross the $1 billion mark at the box office after Avengers Endgame.
So you, make your own web fluid in your body?
I'd rather not talk about this.
No, I don't mean to.
You can't do that, so naturally we're curious as to how your web situation works.
How's your aunt?
Yeah, she's alright.
Oye, la tía de una italiana que está buenísima.
¿Cómo está tu hija, eh?
Up next is Tom Holland becoming likable almost instantly. I mean, his comment was definitely a risky one, but kudos to the boy for knowing how to give it back. I don't care if others may find it disrespectful. Peter Parker was just engaging in some playful banter here. After all, he wasn't even the one who started it. Like, yeah, I understand the sentiment, but come on, man, show some class. Plus, the guy clearly felt upset when he had to be given a taste of his own medicine. Anyway, Spidey showed off his multilingual skills and wit at the same time, making him instantly resonate with the audiences. It's the right kind of flex for a kid in his first solo movie. Imagine Tom Holland's Spider-Man engaging in a debate with one of the villains instead of having to throw hands. Now that would be a sight to behold, wouldn't it?
$10. $10.
It's $5.
For that comment, $10.
Hey, come on, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
This one's got to be the most unintentional flex of all time. It's also how you should do a subway fight in a comic book movie. Yeah, 2019's Joker was a solid scene too, but at least here we don't have to resort to firing bullets. Every single thing happens in this sequence is an accident.
Oh man, no, not my board. Please, dude,
It was hilarious seeing him try his best not to make the situation any worse, but our man kept knocking down anyone who tried to fight him. And this was while he was actively attempting not to get violent. Nobody's really in the wrong here, which is what makes it all the more memorable. However, I feel like I should point out a very serious plot hole, okay? The most unrealistic thing about this scene is that the NYC subway train is running smooth enough for the guy to balance a beer bottle on Peter's head.
I'm so sorry.
Let me just say, if aliens wind up implanting eggs in my chest or something and I eat one of you, I'm sorry.
I do not want another single pop culture reference out of you for the rest of the trip, you understand?
I'm trying to say that something is coming.
Okay, so this isn't a traditional flex, but look, it still counts, okay? Spider-Man gets some kind of redemption when he gets to tell Star-Lord that he's part of the Avengers.
He took my girl. Wait, who are you?
We're the Avengers, man.
You're the ones Thor told us about.
You know Thor.
Yeah. Tall guy, not that good looking.
Well, he doesn't spell it out like that, but it's pretty much implied if someone says, "We're the Avengers, man." It happens so well with the flow of the scene, and Tom Holland's expression just adds more enjoyability to the line. He was already speaking as if he was a veteran in the game, but I guess it does violate the fact that, at heart, he's still a kid from Queens. Yeah, he's the one who's held as a hostage by Peter Quill, but it's not like he was being serious in that fight either. I guess Peter just wanted to be a bit more tolerant of the random space group they just met. Look, the whole sequence is a classic example of how amazing the MCU used to be until Endgame, and this one line from Spider-Man does stand out in the middle of everything else that's happening.
I'm gonna ask you this one time. Where is Gamora?
Yeah, I'll do you one better. Who's Gamora?
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
Tell me where the girl is, or I swear to you, I'm gonna French fry this little freak.
Yeah, well, I did lure hundreds of spider people away from your little clubhouse.
I guess he did plan this out.
Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. I'm gonna do my own thing.
Coming in at number 21 is a scene that has my respect. After all, it's got Miles Morales standing up to the Aura Farmer. Spider-Man 2099 commanded every scene he was in right from the get-go, so to see him getting bested here was the ultimate W for Miles. Of course, it's not just in his actions that he establishes himself as a boss man, but also his words.
My name is Miles Morales. I was bitten by a radioactive spider. I'm pretty sure you know the rest, jerk.
It's not easy going through the entire movie being told you're a mistake and are also the reason for the death of Spider-Man. However, Miles' determination and resilience were both enough to snap him into focus here. Miguel O'Hara may have his own reasons for doing what he did, but in an effort to bully the innocent kid, he ended up getting owned in a pretty savage manner. The man pretty much lost the majority of all the aura he farmed before this point. And let's not forget that Miles successfully evaded a whole freaking army of Spider-Man variants leading up to this flex.
Stop Spider-Man!
I have web on my face. What's the deal?
Miles! He's right there! He's right there! Turn around!
I don't see anything, boss.
And then I looked at my uncle and...
Let me guess. He died?
Hey, Mr. Stark, what should I do?
What we discussed, keep your distance, web them up.
Okay, copy that.
What the hell is that? Everyone's got a gimmick now.
You have a metal arm? That is awesome, dude.
Oh man, I really love this one. It's got the new Spider-Man making quite the impression as he faces off against Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, this is a kid who's fighting his first proper battle in the MCU, and his opponents happen to be a couple of very skilled soldiers and some really fancy weapons. And guess what? He wins! Here, there are some insane flexes here.
You have the right to remain silent!
Like when he blocks a punch from Bucky and actually compliments the fact that he has a metal arm. He was being a fanboy and an opponent at the same time. Remember, there's no violent intent from Peter Parker at all, and he was still able to defeat two skilled combatants who definitely looked like they wanted to smack him down with rage. I mean, he managed to annoy them so much that they actually united to make their own Disney Plus series. Sadly, neither the fight nor the show worked out for them.
Guys, look, I'd love to keep this up, but I've only got one job here today, and I gotta impress Mr. Stark, so I'm really sorry. What?
You couldn't have done that earlier?
I hate you.
Hello, Peter. Should have killed your little girlfriend when I had the chance.
What did you just say?
Looks like we got competition.
Up next is a rather ironic way for Doc Ock to lose a fight. It's not often that you see Spider-Man toying with Otto Octavius, considering how formidable he is as a villain. However, in this case, his greatest strength turned out to be his weakness. By absorbing Spidey's nanotech, Otto thought this was going to be a piece of cake, but got dealt the ultimate Uno reverse.
But now you die.
Heck, the way Peter was mockingly treating him here made me remember how Bugs Bunny would rage bait Elmer Fudd most of the time.
What's up, Doc? I'm giving you to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's the perfect contrast to how Doc Ock was dominating the fight in the beginning. He had that insane villain energy around him, and all of it got diffused almost instantly. Not that I'm complaining though, because we got a great flex out of it. It's one of those scenes where you actually welcome the MCU's weird obsession with humor.
Hey! I'm in control, buddy, of this whole tentacle situation you got going on here.
You're not dead, you've just been separated from your physical form. How are you doing that?
I have no idea.
You should not be able to do that.
We've got Tom Holland in the house once again, and this time he's beating magic with the power of science. That too in a scene where his opponent is fellow Britisher Benedict Cumberbatch. Of course, the both of them have to use fake American accents as Peter Parker and Stephen Strange, but that's beside the point, okay?
Can we please just talk about this?
Parker, don't. And if that spell gets loose, they're all coming here.
What if we could change their fate?
Are you serious right now, bro?
Doctor Strange spent the entirety of this sequence showing off why he's much more powerful than Spider-Man, and it was this very same overconfidence that cost him the match in the mirror dimension. Our nerdy brother here managed to validate every single maths teacher out there, and he used it so smoothly that Strange had no idea what hit him.
Math!
Don't do this. Ow.
I
have to try.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Peter Parker.
Crawl around.
Crawl around? No.
It's the same movie, but not the same Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire does a fabulous job of establishing the alpha right from the start, as this little encounter with Andrew Garfield plays out with the both of them firing webs as if they're in a Mexican standoff. Also, the choreography was pretty neat considering both these versions of Peter Parker aren't at their youngest. Also, the fact that Tobey manages to go straight for Andrew's web shooter does show that his Spidey sense was on point. Oh god, I would love to relive this moment once again for the first time in the theaters.
I just have this sense that he needs my help.
Our help.
Give it up, Parker.
Why don't you take it from me? Take it.
In at number 16 is Andrew Garfield somewhat bullying the bully. The TV region will never advocate any kind of bullying, but with moves like those, we may just grab the first edition of those Spider Jordans. This is from a time when Flash Thompson used to look intimidating, and strangely enough, this version of the character was also the most sensible and mature guy. Anyway, Spidey has loads of fun here.
Alright, how about this? Alright, how about that?
It goes on for a while and eventually ends with Peter Parker doing something extremely reckless. Yes, it looks super cool, but this should have been enough to give away his secret identity.
Did you humiliate that boy?
Yeah, I did. But this guy deserved it.
Now get out of here.
$100. The ad said 3,000.
We'll check it again, webhead.
This has to be one of the most satisfying moments in Spidey history. Not only does it give us a case of instant karma, it also shows us the early stages of Bully Maguire. He was clearly wronged by the greedy dude who simply didn't want to pay him his fair share, but things have a strange way of coming around to bite you when the sun don't shine.
For that, I give you 100, and you're lucky to get that.
I need that money.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
But things have a strange way of coming around to bite you where the sun don't shine. That's exactly what happened as the jerk gets robbed and Spider-Man does nothing at all to stop him. Not giving Peter the money he'd earned did turn out to be the greedy guy's problem. Of course, if we look at it from a complete perspective, Peter not stopping the robber also turned out to be his problem later on because, well, you know, what happened to Uncle Ben.
You could have taken that guy apart. Now he's going to get away with my money.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
What's up, guys? You forget your PIN number? Whoa, you're the Avengers! What are you guys doing here?
Now we've got some old school hero behavior. They say you should watch out for spiders at ATMs, but these wannabe Avengers clearly didn't heed that warning, so getting violated by Spider-Man was the only feasible option. Why would he even bother with such a small crime, you ask? Well, heroes don't come with bias, so they also happen to take care of petty crimes like robbing said ATMs.
Iron Man! Hey, what are you doing robbing a bank? You're a billionaire!
It was hilarious to see Peter trying to perfect his pose before delivering his line. You could tell he really wanted to farm some aura there. Of course, the actual insults weren't too far off, as he openly questioned those thieves and their ability to get their hands on such dangerous weapons. Those guys should have at least gotten better masks though. Also, I think it's fair to say if J. Jonah Jameson got wind of this, he'd definitely accuse Spider-Man and the fake Avengers for fighting over the stolen goods.
911, what's your emergency?
Spider-Man is fighting the Avengers.
Mr. Criminal. Hey, my name is Spider-Man. You can call me Webhead, you can call me Amazing. Just don't call me late for dinner, you get it? Not a shaker. You a hugger?
I'm a killer!
Whoa, okay. You having a problem with your gun? Let me help you out with that.
In at number 13 is a classic example of why Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is such a Chad. He's not just beating the bad guys, he's also rizzing the baddies. Okay, it is just one baddie here, but Gwen Stacy is essentially a diamond in the rough. I do consider Tobey Maguire to be my favorite Spider-Man, but I would take an angel like Gwen over Mary Jane any day.
Where are you?
First in Broadway, second in Broadway, third in Broadway. 5 minutes, 10 tops.
Were those sirens?
No.
Peter?
No.
Peter?
No sirens.
Okay, enough with the simping. The reason Andrew's here is because he takes down Rhino like he's a joke.
I'll take that. That's not yours.
And not long after, he's locking lips with his sweetheart in front of a live audience. Well, it's not Rhino in his main form, but the logic still stands. It's a pretty cool sequence and actually an amazing way to kickstart the sequel, but sadly, these films don't get the kind of love they needed for the trilogy to get completed.
There you go. You okay?
You alright? Just Spider-Man.
This is pretty important, Max.
How do you know my name?
It's written on your badge.
I'm a nobody.
Hey, you're not a nobody. You're somebody.
Rent?
Not now.
Listen, it's a free country. It's not rent-free country.
Leave me alone.
Give me rent.
You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door!
Up next is the one and only Bully Maguire in the flesh. Yeah, this was our boy in his edgy phase, and it's managed to create a legacy that's greater than most characters' careers. The scene where Peter shouts at Mr. Diktovich to fix the darn door if he wants his rent was quite a sudden outburst, but the replay value is unmatched. It's quite rude of him, to be honest, but his energy was just too powerful to ignore. Also, you can't really blame the guy. Broken doors are a serious security threat. Even so, I love how instead of being mad at Peter for his behavior, Mr. Diktovich realizes that he isn't acting like himself, probably because of some issue. Of course, said issue happened to be an alien symbiote suit, but let's push that to one side for now. The man thought it through and came to a reasonable conclusion, which is what makes him a great character.
Listen, I'm really sorry for what happened earlier. I shouldn't have yelled about that door. It was nothing to be angry about.
It's no big deal. But if you feel that bad about it, you can buy me pizza sometime.
Okay. Wow. This feels good.
Whoa. Buddy, love the new outfit. See you, chump.
Oh yeah, you can expect more of these gems moving forward. Bully Maguire is the true definition of a hater, and while he's proven it multiple times in the movie, this moment with Eddie Brock sure rubs us the right way. Look, he's a jerk, so I'm not going to side with him, and if that makes me a hater as well, then look, so be it.
Parker, you are such a Boy Scout. When are you going to give a guy a break?
You want forgiveness? Get religious.
I personally loved it when Spider-Man called Eddie a chump right after wrecking his camera and then made such a sassy exit. I'd be upset too if I were Brock, but thankfully I'm not, so I can laugh at him without judgment. It's crazy how this small moment is the catalyst for the rest of the movie. If Eddie had just kept his mouth shut, he would have gotten his photo, could have avoided the whole fake picture confrontation, and would never have become Venom.
Pack your things. Get out of my building.
I was just...
You're fired!
Hey, thought you, didn't you forget something? Now, don't answer them, but I'm glad to know it's working. You owe your aunt an apology. Big time.
We're kicking off the top 10 with an emotional note this time. Uncle Ben just can't catch a break, can he? The man needs to die for Spider-Man's true character arc to shape up, and even when he's alive, Peter shuts him up with a pretty savage line. Yeah, it's important to teach the young kids about responsibility.
Listen to me, son. If you could do good things for other people, you had a moral obligation to do those things. Not choice, responsibility.
Peter immediately counters his uncle by bringing up his absent father, and it was a pretty wild response. The fact that he had a very valid point only made it better, and the acting was super solid.
Where is he? Where's my dad? He didn't think it was his responsibility to be here to tell me this himself.
Oh, come on, how dare you?
How dare I? How dare you?
I have never been to a jazz club before.
Find us some shade.
Up next is a dance lesson that we'll never forget. Bully Maguire makes yet another appearance, and he's got moves better than Jagger. This time he's enjoying a nice little siesta with Gwen Stacy, just to make Mary Jane feel bad about leaving him. Rod Stewart really wasn't joking when he said blondes have more fun, because Peter and Gwen were having the time of their lives. Mary Jane was clearly jealous of her ex being with Bryce Dallas Howard, and I suppose the other MJ, Michael Jackson, would also be envious of those moves. Look, it was a petty thing for Peter to do, but when you're in Chad mode, you can't help but flex your skills. Honestly though, considering how toxic MJ was, you should have stuck with Gwen.
That was all for her?
How about that Spider-Man? Last night on the Manhattan Bridge, he saved a dozen lives. We want to hear your call.
Spider-Man, there'd be no hope for this thing. Who do you think pays the bills for all the damages he causes, huh?
At number 8 is Andrew Garfield helping out a kid in need. We may admire Bully Maguire, but there's no room for actual bullies on the TV region. Scenes like this one prove why he's called your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
How much?
You're that spider guy.
He's not just out to get prime villains, but the little ones too. After all, this is the age where kids can really hold on to certain character traits. You know what hits even harder? Some of these bullies probably look up to Spider-Man as their hero too, and to see him quietly disapprove of what they did probably made them think twice about picking on others. After all, every little action matters, doesn't it?
Good boy, huh?
Hey, Spider-Man.
I knew you'd come back.
Yeah, thanks for stepping up for me. You're the bravest kid I've ever seen.
Pete, look, you're changing. I know. I went through exactly the same thing at your age.
No, not exactly.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Are you afraid that I'm gonna turn into some kind of criminal? Quit worrying about me, okay? Something's different. I'll figure it out.
Jesus Christ. This one's even worse than what Andrew did to his Uncle Ben. So we all know the iconic line, with great power comes great responsibility. But when the OG Uncle Ben said this, he didn't get any praise from Peter at all. Instead, he got a serious case of emotional damage. The worst one was definitely when Peter asked him to stop pretending to be his dad, which was super messed up.
And I know I'm not your father.
Then stop pretending to be.
Right.
Poor Ben didn't deserve that at all, but man, it's a really savage moment from what once again looks like the early stage of development of Bully Maguire. Regardless, this single line shaped the future and everything Spider-Man stands for.
With great power comes great responsibility. Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
What was it you said? I'll never get that picture? There's your hero.
Huh. I never thought he'd really do that.
See? You gotta see it as it is.
It's funny you should say that, because I was looking through some old photos and it looks very, similar.
Dear God, Bully Maguire is on a whole other level of flexing. He can't stop, won't stop, and we don't even want him to stop. His brutal takedown of Eddie Brock when he figured out he edited that photo was everything you needed to see in savage expose. Everything about it screamed dominance.
Yeah, no, we're just horsing around. Look, I'm begging you. If you do this, I will lose everything. There's not a paper in town that will hire me.
You should have thought of that earlier.
Let's not forget that this was the scene which turned Brock into Peter's biggest hater. The man was literally praying to God to end his enemy. That's like 2025 Lex Luthor levels of hate.
To ask you for one thing, I want you to kill Peter Parker.
What did you do to her?
I did what you failed to do. I was there for her. Mary Jane and I, we understand each other.
She doesn't know what you are.
She knows me very well. Strawberries.
Yeah, but at this point, we shouldn't even be surprised to see this film so often in the top 10. Spider-Man's greatest flex comes via Bully Maguire, but this one hits a bit too close to home, considering it's against his main buddy. Sure, Harry also turned on Peter, but that's only because he thought he killed his dad.
How'd you like that, Spidey?
That all you got?
The fight is great and all, but the real thrill that comes with watching this scene is hearing Peter roast the living daylights out of Harry.
Stings, doesn't it?
Protected you in high school, now I'm gonna kick your little ass.
Insulting his competence and even mocking him by suggesting he's gonna cry were both insane burns. But the deal breaker came in the form of that instant riposte when Harry threw that bomb. I guess William really did turn them into the foes.
He loved me.
No, he despised you. You were an embarrassment to him. Look at little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry?
You know, in the future, if you're gonna steal cars, don't dress like a car thief, man. What are you? You a cop? Really? You seriously think I'm a cop? You're good thinking, good thinking. There you go, you got it.
Oh look, a different movie. Andrew Spidey may not be associated with the kind of savagery we see here, but in all honesty, I think we were just trying to have some fun. Taking down the car thief was a neat way for Spider-Man to go about his day, or in this case, night. However, the poses and the gimmicks he kept running here were a bit extra to say the least.
Knock it off, man! No.
This could have got a lot worse. Now hold still.
He didn't relent even when the cops showed up, so you could say that he was in a goofy kind of mood. Honestly, this scene does feel like it's straight out of a comic book, so bonus points for accuracy.
Come on, let me go! Stop it!
Wow, you are seriously loyal piece of outerwear, aren't you?
Yeah, speaking of loyalty.
What the?
I know what you're gonna say.
You should not be here.
I was gonna go home.
I don't want to hear
but
it.
It was such a long way down.
And now I gotta hear it.
If anything, it's kind of your fault that I'm here.
What did you just say?
I take that back.
We thought
you can't be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man if there's no neighborhood.
Wow. It's not often that we see someone blaming Iron Man for his suit. Okay, it is pretty often, but it doesn't usually come from freaking Spider-Man. Heck, that guy should be grateful for being given such badass suits.
So you've done there's in trouble. What's your plan?
You ever see this really old movie, Aliens?
However, since he has to defend himself for stowing away on an alien spaceship, he decides to compliment and roast Tony Stark at the same time. By saying it's essentially his fault that Spidey is even here in the first place was a pretty cool way of getting out of trouble, and I'll give props to Tom Holland for making it sound so smooth.
Yes! Wait, what are those?
shots are so good.
I'd love to shoot you sometime.
This is absolute cinema. Bully Maguire's true essence is captured in this supremely viral sequence and has gone on to become one of the greatest memes in meme history.
That's not the position I hired you for.
Black suit Spider-Man. Peter, these are incredible.
I'll pay you the usual rate.
If you want the shots, I'll take the staff job. Double the money.
It's not just the dance moves, which I've praised across countless videos, it's also how he stands up to J. Jonah Jameson, demanding double the rape or even flirting with Betty. It's the ultimate display of alpha male energy, and I'm never gonna stop loving it.
Think you're pretty funny, don't you, freak?
It was just an accident.
My fist breaking your teeth, that's the accident.
Shut up!
Topping today's list is the ultimate takedown of a jerk. I did mention this scene earlier, so you should have known it was coming. The OG Flash was intimidating enough to warrant his status as a bully, and was super annoying too, which makes him the perfect subject for humiliation in this legendary sequence.
Help them, Harry!
Which one?
It was already a massive flex for Peter Parker to grab MJ and collect all those items in the cafeteria, but if you want to be the #1 superhero in the world, you gotta do more than that. So our man decided to show off those reflexes some more and beat his opponent with the only offensive move he pulled. It's such a goated moment that I don't even care about the audience's completely biased reaction. Hope you liked the video, please subscribe to the TV region, and here's another video that I know you're going to enjoy.